Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Welcome back to my channel, Live Free with JD. It's all about passive income, real estate investing, and cryptocurrency investing. So today I thought it would be a real treat if we can combine the two and talk about the metaverse and buying real estate and how to profit on land in the virtual world. We're going to talk about ways you can get into it, how this can affect you, and how you can profit from it, and some of the top platforms that are currently in the space here early in 2022, and just where they're going and a snapshot of where they're at. So without further ado, let's get into buying land in the metaverse. So the first project I want to talk to you guys about is the biggest one, and depending on who you talk to, allegedly the front runner of the metaverse currently in terms of land gaming. So this is going to be the Sandbox. I'm sure you guys have heard of this at this point. They've been working on it, I believe, since 2012. In the Sandbox, there's a couple different ways that you can earn money. The first is through purchasing land, which right now it looks like the floor is close to 10 ETH. So it's gotten pretty expensive. I remember I looked a couple months ago into this and it was maybe $12,000 for a plot of land, but now we're looking at closer to $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 for the plot of land. And that may be out of your price range if you're just starting to invest, just getting into crypto. But the other way that you can end up investing in the Sandbox is to buy sand, which is the currency within the Sandbox. The idea is that with more users getting on and entering into the space, there's going to be more of a demand for the currency. There's only a limited number of plots, so there's only 166,000 pieces of land in the game. Now, in this game, users create all types of different experiences, and this metaverse is made to be a fun place and a place to hang out outside of the real world within the Sandbox, and same for some of the other ones here today. That should mean that as the experiences get better, as more people start to play, as the demand increases, it's simple economics in that the land values are going to go up, the sand values are going to go up. That rhymes. That's pretty dope. And we're really going to see an appreciation in that market as you would with purchasing regular land in the area that's getting more popular. So you have a couple different options there. Now the cool part, and what I want to make a video on in the future, is going to be what you can do with the land. Outside of just buying it and selling it for more later, outside of buying it and creating experiences, because a lot of us here want passive income. The idea of creating experiences in the metaverse is really cool, but it's definitely not necessarily my thing or something I have time for. I'm not sure if you guys do either, but I'll make a new video on how to passively either rent the land out or rent it on the short-term basis to people who want to throw events, put up virtual stages, throw virtual concerts. There's a lot you can do in the Sandbox. So let's see what happens. The big thing I want to talk about with the Sandbox is the current price. So right now, as of January 9th, 2022, we are at a 43% dip from the all-time high that happened in November. With this being said, I do think that sand is primed to explode from here. The metaverse should have a big chunk of 2022's demand in terms of crypto and metaverse and NFT space. NFTs are looking pretty good too lately. They look like they're in a good position to grow. But with the latest crypto dip, I'm expecting it to be very similar to previous dips in that we go down 40, 50, 60% from all-time highs. After just a couple of months, it's a quick correction. And then with how much attention there is on this space, how much money is being thrown into this space, it should be a pretty good runway from here in 2022 to go back to all-time highs and maybe crush it, which would give you close to a 2x return at the minimum if we can get back to those all-time highs. So definitely interested in at least buying some sand this year. It's going to be part of my crypto strategy. I would like to purchase some land. It's a little steep to get in, but I do see the upside of that as opposed to just buying currency and diving in. So I would like to incorporate that into my portfolio as well here in 2022. The next metaverse space that I want to talk to you guys about is pretty similar in a couple ways to the Sandbox, and this is Decentraland. Decentraland is going to be profitable in the same types of ways. You can buy land in Decentraland, or you can buy the token, Mana. Both are in a pretty good spot right now. So in Decentraland, the plots are a little bit smaller than the sandbox, but they're going for about 5 ETH at today's rates. That seems to be the floor, and Mana is just hovering just below $3 per token. Now, the interesting thing is Mana is also down a pretty considerable amount from its all-time highs back in November. It's down 47%, which should put it in a prime setup to have a good runway here to hit new all-time highs. In Decentraland, the plots, even though they're smaller, there are less of them. There's only 90,000 plots in Decentraland. And with that being said, compared to the sandbox is 166,000, it makes a little sense that there's demand. Mana has like a different user base in a way, in that they've been working on this project for a different amount of time. You're gonna see the market be a little bit different than the sandbox, but the general idea is the same. Users are creating experiences. There's casinos in Decentraland. This project is debatably one of the top 2, if not number 1 right now. The only thing I don't like about Decentraland currently versus the sandbox or some of the ones we're going to talk about later is that the initial founders and team who got Decentraland started are no longer in the leadership position. So they've stepped down. One of them has actually left to create a different platform that we're going to talk about later. And the other one, I believe, still serves and helps out with Decentraland, but it's not in the same full-fledged CEO leadership position they were in. And Decentraland has some different people working on it at this point. So we'll see where it goes. I'm still super bullish on it for 2022. I think Mana is going to explode in price. I also think that it's a nice little entry to get in to own land in the metaverse at 5 ETH versus 10 ETH that we see in the sandbox. But I do have some concerns long-term about the development team, and I think there is some short-term gain to be had in getting involved from the recent dip, but we'll see. But at this point, I think it'd be good to talk about where one of the Decentraland founders went and the development team that they have there and what's going on with, oh, spoiler alert, big time. So the next metaverse that we're gonna talk about is called Big Time. The founder of Decentraland left to start his own all-star team and start building out Big Time, which just released their first land offering back in December, just about 2-3 weeks ago. Here they call it space instead of land, and there are 5 different sizes of space, 5 different rarities rather, and 3 different sizes. So there's all in all about 15 different types of land you can get, and that's what's a little bit different than Decentraland or the sandbox. In Decentraland and the sandbox, land is valued based on location. You can see the coordinates of your land, kind of what it's next to. There's some big attractions in some of them. For example, the sandbox has The Walking Dead and different user experiences there. Snoop Dogg has his own place, and I know some people have been paying pretty hefty premiums for land that's near Snoop Dogg. Totally makes sense. The guy has been really making some big moves, and anything that he touches seems to be turning to gold. So to be following in his footsteps, I don't hate it. I think you'll get a lot of attention in that land. But back to my point in that it's location based and you're paying more on the price of location. In Big Time, it seems that spaces are different places you can explore and go in and out of. They're really comparing it to kind of World of Warcraft type game. And in spaces, when you buy your space, you can pimp out the space, create the user experience that goes on there. There's different rarities, different sizes. So whatever you're purchasing is not necessarily just standard as it is in Sandbox and Decentraland, where it's all the same size. Now there's a lot of different things that you can do based on the size of, and the experience you create will be very different. So with this just releasing, there was a lot of opportunity to grab something and sell it for more. I purchased a couple different spaces and I will be holding them for a decent amount of time. I don't think we've even scratched the surface of where this thing is going. And one of the reasons I'm super excited about Big Time is the development team. So the development team that's creating this game they had people who were working with Zynga, who were working with Fortnite. A lot of their chief engineers who are creating the game have worked on multiple other projects that have become top tier games. And the interesting thing with Big Time is it's a play to earn. So with that, the more you play the game, you can get different NFTs in the game. You can sell the things that you get. The way I like to phrase it is it's sort of like playing Call of Duty. For all of you that played Call of Duty, you play, you get to prestige level 10, you get this super sick new outfit or pin or gun armor for what you accomplished throughout that prestige. And now you can sell those things back to people who are just entering the space. So as you play, as you find and unlock things, you can get these NFTs and sell them. I'm really curious to see what types of advantages the NFTs are going to offer, if any, whether it's in-game advantages or just experiences that you can check out. It's really interesting how creative this NFT space is getting. So if that interests you at all, the play to earn, Big Time can be really interesting, or you can just passively buy some space, rent it out to someone else to create the user experience, and or just hold it until it's time to sell it to someone else and just see the appreciation. But Big Time should be really interesting. Right now you can get a couple game passes to start playing the game early. It hasn't released yet for playing. I believe I got a Jade Pass, which started around $1,600, and I will be playing to earn and trying to immerse into this metaverse. So we'll see what we can do here with Big Time and see where we're going with this. What's interesting is there is no token with Big Time. It's not like Decentraland or Sandbox where there's a way to just hop in on the crypto. That might change, we'll see, but that's it for Big Time. I lied, there is one more thing for Big Time. I want to talk about how many plots there are and what they cost. So far in Big Time's initial offering for space, there were 6,000 spaces released of 60,000 that there will be total. These spaces, depending on that size and rarity, varied anywhere. Currently now you can buy it on Big Time's website, kind of in a open market space. You can buy it anywhere from $400 to $25,000. Are the prices of the spaces, and I do think that'll continue to go up. You're going to have an option to see what happens with those. Thank you guys for tuning into my video. It's been awesome to discuss the metaverse and real estate within the metaverse with you guys. If you want to live free with JD, as the channel name implies, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like this video if you found any value from it, and be sure to try to hop into some of these things that interest you. I plan on getting some returns here, hopefully, fingers crossed, from some metaverse land and hopping into the cryptocurrencies associated with them. If you do too, let me know how your success goes in the comments, and let's live free. Peace.